Greetings, chess players. My name is Chris Torres, and this is my daily chess musing for Saturday, April 24th, 2021. Round 11 had 2 decisive games and 2 draws, which is a welcome turn of events. Jan Nepomniachtchi continues to lead with a half point over Anish Giri. Meanwhile, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave lost ground after succumbing to Grishick. Giri and Ding Liren's game was action-packed. For Giri, today's win allowed him to gain ground on Nepo and pull ahead of the three-way tie from previous rounds since Caruana drew his game and MVL lost. Let's examine the 2 decisive games from this round. Anish Giri starts with e4. Ding Liren plays e5. 2 knight f3. 2 knight c6, 3 bishop b5, a6, 3 Lopez, bishop a4, knight f6, castle, bishop e7, and then bishop takes c6. Giri chooses to play the Ruy-Lopez delayed exchange variation. d3 is the most popular move in this position, but Giri chooses bishop takes c6. Interesting. 6 dx c6, 7 d3, bishop d6, 8 knight b to d2, bishop e6, 9 knight b3, queen e7, 10 knight a5. Ding Liren has a decision to make: castle queenside or play rook to b8 to defend b7 and then castle kingside. Castle queenside. By castling queenside, Liren chooses the more aggressive path, as both players are castled on opposite sides of the board. Had he played rook b8, play likely would have continued with something like this. 10 rook b8, queen e2, castle, 12 bishop g5. And now bishop g4, rook fe8, or h6 all seem like reasonable moves for black. But back to the actual game. So after Anish Giri's 10 knight a5, Ding Liren castles queenside, 11 queen e2. Giri plays with finesse here. Instead of launching a thematic castled on opposite sides pawn storm with a3. For instance, a more common approach after castling queenside would be 11 a3, bishop g4, and then b4, king b8, and 13 c4, where white's plan would be to disrupt black's king safety with further queenside pawn advances. But back to our actual game. Giri plays 11 queen e2, bishop g4, 12 c3. Giri starts his pawn storm with c3, which makes sense. Alternatively, Giri could have played 12 h3 to dislodge the bishop, which also makes sense. Then bishop probably goes to h5, and now g4 to eliminate the pin, knight c4 en route to e3, or starting the pawn storm with a3 all seem like reasonable plans for white. Back to our game. So Giri played 12 c3, and Ding Liren responds with 12 c5. 13 a3. Anish Giri is trying to open up the queen side. Now c6 is played by Liren, which, in my opinion, looks a bit off since black is leaving the b6 and d6 squares vulnerable. Perhaps he should have played queen e6 instead. For instance, if 13 queen e6, Giri would have played probably b4. Then knight d7 seems like a good defensive maneuver. And then if 15 bishop g5, black has f6, 16 bishop d2, and then f5 creates a very interesting scenario. So it is food for thought. Again, however, Ding Liren played 13 c6, and then Anish Giri plays 14 b4. Bishop c7 attacking white's knight and uncovering the influence of the d8 rook. 15 knight b3. Alternatively, Giri could have also tried knight c4 with an eye on moving it to e3. 15 knight d7, adding more protection to c5. 16 h3, bishop h5, 17 bishop e3, f5. Liren is trying to exploit his pin. 18 bishop takes c5. Giri takes an extra pawn. It's worth noting that capturing on f5 would have led to big trouble for white. For instance, if 18 exf5, boom, c4 creates a lot of problems for white since dxc4 is met with e4. Which is why Anish Giri played 18 bishop takes c5. Ding Liren responds with 18 queen f7, threatening white's knight. Ding is playing in a very determined way, sacrificing the pawn and gaining the initiative. 19 rook a to b1, obviously defending the knight, but stay tuned. This move will be very useful later. 19 g5, Ding badly wants to rip apart white's defenses. 20 exf5, g4, sad to see such a nice attack by Ding Liren spoiled by a terrible mistake. Much better was 20 queen takes f5, 21 queen e4, queen f4, 22 queen takes f4, and g takes f4 with roughly even chances. But Ding Liren played 20 g4. 21 knight g5, punishment. Anish Giri plays the response Ding overlooked. 21 queen takes f5, 22 h4 gives Giri security on the king side. 22 b6, Giri thought for quite a while here. 23 knight e4 and decided to allow his bishop to be captured. 23 bxc5. Ding Liren probably shouldn't have obliged Giri in capturing the bishop, since after white captures back, there will be a few nasty moves waiting for him. 24 bxc5, knight f6, and 25 knight d6 check. The knight fork forces black to part with one of the king's defenders. 25 bishop takes d6, cx d6, rook takes d6. 27 d4 is a crucial move since it opens up the diagonal for the queen to come in with these attacking pieces. White may be a piece down, but there are 3 attacking pieces, and black's pieces are far too removed from the action to be of assistance. 27 c5 to defend the a6 pawn. 28, knight takes c5. Obviously increases the pressure on a6, but also opens the door for a possible rook and queen battery in the b file. 28, rook e8, 29, queen c4. And Ding Liren resigns here as there is no adequate defense to Giri's threats. The best continuation may have been 29, king d8, stepping out of the file with the queen, but right into a fork. And then a pin. So you can understand why Liren resigned. Now let's take a quick look at the key moment in the other decisive game from this round between Alexander Grischuk and Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. We pick up the action on move 36. Alexander Grischuk plays bishop takes e5, and MVL plays rook takes g5. The first of 2 key inaccuracies. MVL had at least 3 better options. Let's look at them. After 36 bishop takes e5, he could have played 36 a4, bx a4, rook takes a4, 38 g6, rook b4 check, bishop b2, fx g6, king c1, and rook d7, keeping things even. He could have also tried 36 b5. Then bishop c7, rook e8, bishop takes a5, b4, 39 g6, rook takes g6, queen h4, and bishop d6 is also equal. And finally, MVL could have played 36 rook e8, bishop c3, b6, bishop d2, rook e2, queen d1, rook g to g2, 2 rooks in the 7th, bishop c1, and then rook e to f2, will be a draw. But Maxime Vachier-Lagrave played 36, rook takes g5, to which Alexander Grischuk responded 37, queen takes b7, and then rook d2, and now the second inaccuracy. At this level, 2 inaccuracies in 2 consecutive moves equals a losing effort. Clearly better would have been 37, bishop b4, bishop b2, rook e8, queen c6, rook e1 check, king a2, rook e6, queen c8, and king h7, which should result in a draw. However, MVL played 37, rook d2, to which Grischuk responded 38, bishop c3, rook e2, 39, queen c8, rook g1 check, king b2, rook g to g2, 41, bishop takes a5. Grischuk takes the a5 pawn, and now nothing stands between one of his queenside pawns promoting other than some potential checks. 41, rook takes c2. Wins a pawn back, but also fast forward to an easy win for white. For then, Grischuk plays 42, queen takes c2, rook takes c2 check, king takes c2, king h7. Black's king has to step into the wrong direction in order to become active. 44, king d3, king g6. 45, bishop c3, guarding the f6 pawn. 45, king f5. 46, king c4. And now the king is in place to support the pawn moving to b4. 46, king e6, 47, b4, bishop d6, 48, b5, and MVL resigns here as there is no hope left for black. So, the standings after round 11 are Jan Nepomniachtchi with 7 points, Anish Giri right behind him with 6.5, Fabiano Caruana in third place with 6, Alexander Grischuk with 5.5, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave also with 5.5, Wang Hao with 5, Kirill Alekseenko with 4.5, and Ding Liren with 4. As always, I recommend visiting Fide's official site for the 2020-2021 Candidates Tournament for more information and live broadcast links of this year's tournament. However, if your schedule doesn't allow you to stay up all night watching the event live, I humbly suggest that you come to this YouTube channel to see recaps of the day's excitement in my Daily Chess Musings. Also, be sure to check out Daily Chess Musings' Facebook page, follow me on Twitter @TorresChess, join our Daily Chess Musings Club on chess.com, and peruse through all of our free chess lessons at dailychessmusings.com. And with that, I bid you adieu until tomorrow. My name is Chris Torres. This has been my Daily Chess Musing. Please remember to like and subscribe.